I have made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. What I came across when I was trying to read that word last week was obviously unplanned. The reactions you saw on this recording were raw, they were unfiltered. Neither of us knew how to react or how to feel. I should have never posted the video. I should have never posted the video. I should have just put the camera down and stopped the voice recording what we were going through. There's a lot of things I should have done differently, but I didn't. And for that, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. I want to apologize to the internet. I want to apologize to anyone who has seen that video. I want to... I want to apologize to anyone who's been affected or touched by racism or hate crimes or slurs in the past. But most importantly, I want to apologize to black people and their families. Oh man. For my fans who are defending my actions, please don't. I don't deserve to be defended. My goal with my content is always to entertain, to push the boundaries, to be all-inclusive in the world I live in. I share almost everything I do. The internet is never to be heartless, cruel, or malicious. Like I said, I made a huge mistake, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm just here to apologize. I'm ashamed of myself, I'm disappointed in myself, and I promise to be better. I will be better. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to BrokeN Bois. This is episode 60. I'm Mike.
And I'm Colin. That was very brave.
Thank you. Yeah. Straight from the heart. Yeah, all me, baby.
Nobody's ever said those words before.
No, and I definitely was not reading off of a screen.
Just like he was.
Yeah, yeah, he would. Who?
Oh, sorry. What?
Oh man, he just had the idea of doing that, and neither of us proofread it beforehand. I knew I was gonna like incorporate what had happened in there, but oh my god, somehow it was way too funny. I do apologize to the black community for saying black people and their families on the spot because I didn't know how to translate that part. Anyways, hi.
At least he didn't say the other word.
That's true.
Again.
Yeah. I'm learning. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, some Fall Out Boy fans are gonna click on this and just be like, "Oh, I'm talking about Fall Out Boy. What?
What's going on?"
Anyways, how you doing?
All right. You know, was a little sick this week. A little cold. But better now, and you know, nothing too crazy. Just ready for this semester to be over. We're getting real close.
Yep.
Listened to a lot of Fall Out Boy this week.
Me too. We will get into that later, by the way.
Yeah. It's our analysis this week. Woo-hoo.
Hell yeah, baby.
What else did I do? I played some Lego Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do a whole lot this week. You know, just winding down. You know.
Yeah.
I'm probably start packing stuff next week, towards the end of the week. So. Yeah. I mean,
nice.
Nothing too crazy. How about you?
Nothing wrong with winding down.
No.
I guess I'm kind of in the same place a little bit. A lot of my long-term projects are being turned in or are nearing their due dates, but like I finally, like, as of like the last couple days, I don't feel as suffocated as I had the last like month.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of nice. Kind of nice getting some stuff out and stuff off, and I'm gonna take just a little bit of time here to, you know, revel in the relaxation. Then I'm gonna be able to go straight into album mode pretty quickly here. So that's exciting. But yeah, nothing much. I mean, it's been the same thing as I've been saying every week recently, just working on projects, finishing them up, getting them put together. Yeah, nothing too much on my end that I did, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think I did anything this week.
You had a show come back.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I was going to talk about that. But, I mean, actually, yeah, I could talk about that. Yeah, Better Call Saul came back on Monday. Released 2 episodes. First time in 2 years that season 6 is coming out. It is so fucking good. God damn it. You need to catch up on that when you can. Yeah, it looks... I like... Breaking Bad even looked amazing, and then the rest of Better Call Saul, people are like, it's filmed even better than Breaking Bad, and then this season is just, they're taking it even up another notch. Like, this shit looks fucking gorgeous. It's so good. But yeah, it's really good, great show. You should watch it if you watched Breaking Bad. Fantastic prequel. I'm very excited to see where it goes. Yeah.
I saw the new A24 movie this week.
Yes, that's right.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was fucking amazing. The guy who played Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and also Data in The Goonies, was the dad and husband.
That's the same guy? Mm-hmm. Oh, I never realized the Goonies guy was the Temple of Doom guy.
Yeah, I'm surprised you've seen Goonies.
I think I saw it in school.
Oh. Yeah, but he was in that, and he's great. He's kind of like Jackie Chan now. He's like he knows a bunch of martial arts, so he did a bunch of cool fighting scenes in there. But it's just like this cool multiversal, fucking crazy, bonkers story, and it's just, I really recommend you go see that.
Yeah,
it's very fucking good.
I do want to see that at some point. I'll probably wait till it's other places. Yeah.
I really want to see that Nicolas Cage movie as well, and that there's this new like Viking, I think, movie, like Norse movie called The Northman. That looks really good. Really want to see that. I fucking love movies, dude, and I'm a slut for A24. Like, dude, at some point I'll get the merch of just their logo on it, because like, fuck, dude, I love them a lot. Because they're so they're such a big company, but they're so willing to do these weird movies, and it's so cool. I was telling you that at lunch the other day. Like, it's cool having a big company do experimental films. Yeah. Like, I don't know, something like The Green Knight. Like, that's a very just not normal movie. Like, it's a very interesting movie. Yeah. But like, that type of thing normally wouldn't be able to get that big of a budget or go to the big screens like that. It would be a much smaller project. Yeah. And that one, The Green Knight, that was my favorite, my second favorite movie after Spider-Man last year. And like, the fact that movie didn't get like an Oscar nom for like cinematography is insane, because that movie was gorgeous. Yeah, the story was a little weird and stuff like that. It definitely is not for everybody, but I don't think anyone can deny that movie is fucking beautiful. Like, it is so that shit was one of the best looking movies I've probably ever seen, honestly. It's gorgeous. I loved that movie a lot. But yeah, that was really good. I highly recommend you guys go see that movie. But yeah, we got some music news this week. 1, 2, 3. New Kendrick May 13th. Okay. New Kendrick May 13th. New Kendrick May 13th. Yeah, I thought we were gonna go New Kung Fu Kenny. But that would have worked too. Yeah. 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 Kendrick announced. I forget what it was fucking called. See. Yeah. It's a weird name. It is. So. He announced it. Just like a little like documentation that he posted on Twitter, and then other places as well. It's called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Yeah. A little bit of a strange name, but I don't think anyone cares. No, he revealed that it was coming out via subtweet to a guy that said he retired. I saw that. Yeah, a guy's just like, Kendrick Lamar is retired, and then he responds to it with that. Yeah. I've been seeing that guy's tweets for a while now. Well, not for a while, but like since that happened, and I just saw, I brought Kendrick Lamar back. He started tweeting things like, Frank Ocean has officially retired. Yeah, I'm so fucking excited for that. we've been saying it since the fucking beginning of the pod that he needs to drop something.
Yeah.
And now he finally fucking is.
Mm-hmm.
And he better not retire.
Yeah.
Cause
Final project with TDE though, so
yeah.
we'll see how. Yeah.
We will see. New King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard came out today.
Mm-hmm.
It's called it's another weird name.
King Gizzard has a lot of weird names.
It's Omnium Gatherum.
Okay.
It's very good so far. I've only heard the first. It's right there.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, I've only heard the first 4 songs because the first one's 18 minutes long.
Mm.
But from what I've heard, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm gonna listen to all of it. So
yeah, and I think I talked about it on the podcast when I did listen to it. But I have listened to the Dripping Tap, which is that 18-minute song, and that was a very good song. So yeah. I might end up checking out this project. It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a long one, but
it's a long one.
Yeah.
But I'm really loving it so far. So
yeah,
that
cool.
came out.
And then there was also announcement of May 13th, another thing, The Smile, the band by Radiohead's Tom York and Johnny Greenwood, along with someone else who I still don't know the name of. Oops. They announced their album. It's called A Light for Attracting Attention. And they released another single with it called Free in the Knowledge. And this is my favorite track yet.
Ooh,
it is
really?
fucking gorgeous. If we weren't doing Fall Out Boy today, it would be my song of the week.
Ooh, and it's 53 minutes long. Nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's got a lot of tracks on there. I've liked most of the singles so far, but this one just, oh my god. Johnny Greenwood, he's like the guitarist, but recently he's been like the orchestrator. Like I say recently, for the last like 20 years, he's been the orchestrator of their strings as well.
Yeah.
And oh my god, there's some magic at the very last like minute of this track. It's so fucking good. But yeah, I'm excited to hear that too. Although we'll definitely be talking more about Kendrick that week.
Yeah. I'll probably listen to the Smile record too, and we'll talk about that at some point. But
yeah,
we definitely need to talk about Kendrick.
Yeah, if we don't, we're gonna lose one of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Honestly, might lose 2 because my youngest brother was like texting me, was like, "Fucking finally!"
Oh,
so,
gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we definitely need to cater to our audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Kendrick artist analysis is still one of our highest listened to.
Oh, is it actually?
On YouTube at least.
Oh shit!
So they like the Kendrick here.
They like watching the Midwestern white boys talk about Kendrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has made some of the best music ever. So
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best artists of our time. Yeah. So very exciting to see that, and honestly, all the stuff that's been coming out. Very, very exciting.
It's a very busy year for music, just like last year was.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the collateral of post-COVID time away during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 3 fucking albums coming out in May.
Well, there's also Harry's too.
Yeah, 3.
Oh,
The Smile.
Gotcha.
Kendrick and Harry.
Yeah.
You got your album
coming out hopefully June.
Hopefully.
I'm trying. Well, I'll confirm that later, but I'm really shooting for June. I really am.
And then, another thing, Jakey, who was supposed to release his EP or album in February, made an update video, and he said that he'll get it out at some point. He's been having trouble with his mental health lately, so and it's very hard to make and release music on your own for him, I suppose, and for a lot of people, I'm sure. Mike seems to be having the easiest of times.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was gonna release February, but I was like, they're not ready for it yet, so I'm delaying it for you guys, not for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if there's any other music news.
I think some other projects came out, but I can't remember what they are.
Record Store Days tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh my god, it's been a year since we've had our our location sessions incident.
And I was told today that from Allie that like who is my ex, she was like geeking out over the new Rex the Rex 5-year anniversary Apricot Princess vinyl, which I want as well. But she said that there's only one there's one record store doing it, and it's not in the area or close, anyway to where we live, and it's not. One of them is not the place we dealt with last year. So maybe I caused too much of a stink for them.
Maybe,
and they just don't want to do Record Store Day anymore. But
they were kind of a small shop anyway. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping for that Rex album. We'll see. If not, no big deal. I'll get it at some point. But it is pretty cool. It's a nice green.
Matches the cover, yeah.
And it has a couple live tracks. Yeah, I think it's Happiness and Television or Four Seasons.
I believe so. Yeah, I think it's television.
But yeah, that'd be really cool to have. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if there's any more music news.
The thing I was thinking of is Pusha T release an album, but I'm probably not gonna listen to that.
I don't know if I've ever heard Pusha T.
I think I listened to it. Was it him who had Daytona? Because Kanye, that was part of Kanye's like producing an album every other week fucking streak that he did.
Okay.
I remember liking it, but I don't know, maybe. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think.
Yeah, Better Call Saul came back for you this week, but Barry comes back for me on Sunday. I'm so fucking excited. If you guys haven't heard of Barry, it's a show with Bill Hader. I think he writes and directs it as well, but he plays like this hitman who doesn't want to be hitman anymore and gets into acting. Really fucking funny. It's a great dramedy series. I'd highly recommend that one. It's one of my favorites, and I got John into it, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch that at some point. It's just I'm not really a big TV show guy. I never really have been, so but I'll check it out. Probably maybe over the summer I'll try and get to it. Yeah.
Are you ready to Fall Out Boy?
I think I am. Fall Out Boy.
You are Fall Out Boy?
I think I am. We're gonna do an artist analysis on the popular pop punk band Fall Out Boy. We're just gonna talk about all of their albums in the order that they came out, excluding Eating Out Your Ex-Girlfriend or whatever it's called.
Risque in the beginning.
Yeah, a little bit. We're just gonna kind of talk about them. I guess to give a little brief overview on my history with Fall Out Boy, they were always part of. Look at every year it gets a little cringier every time I think about it, but they were part of the emo trinity that people had of them, Panic at the Disco and 21 Pilots, or MCR depending on who you asked, and they were the one I just never really could get into, me personally. Like, I would hear their stuff and it would kind of go in one ear and out the other, and people always are like, Fall Out Boy and Panic are so similar, and I never really saw it. There was a lot of creative aspects I liked about Panic that I never really saw in Fall Out Boy. So that was kind of my impression going into this. It's just like, they have some alright songs that I've heard, but like they've never really been able to grip me. I just figured I'd give my history. I had listened to Fully Ado like once a while ago. I didn't remember it before I got here. Even when I was listening to it, I didn't quite remember it that much. Aside from $20 Nosebleed, because Brendan's on there, and I'm like, ooh, Panic at the Disco. So this was all new for me, which I think this is my first artist analysis where pretty much everything is new for me. So,
yeah, most of it was new for me too.
Yeah, cool.
My history of Fall Out Boy, I guess I've listened. I really liked Save Rock and Roll and American Beauty, American Psycho when I was in high school. Those are really the only albums I listened to. I did, like Mike, I had listened to Folie à Deux, or however you say it, once or twice, but the only thing I really remembered was $20 Nosebleed. So, obviously I've heard like the big hits, like Dance Dance and Sugar We're Going Down and Thanks for the Memories, but I haven't heard most of these songs.
I recognize some of the big hits as well. I usually didn't remember it. I mean, this is a weird. I don't even know if I commented on it, but they have a weird thing of like their verses almost sound nothing like the choruses. So like, every now and then I'd be listening to a track and then I'm like, oh wait, I've heard this song. Where did that come from? Like, it's not even like hints of it coming or whatever. I don't know, but
Right. Well, we begin our journey in 2003 with "Take This to Your Grave."
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Mike?
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
All right. So, Take This to Your Grave, 2003. I said, this is definitely a pop punk record from 2003. I can... Is that...
Can't see it.
What the hell? Usually it doesn't do this. Hold on, sorry, my formatting's a little weird. Oh, what the fuck?
Unprepared.
Hold on. I apologize. I'm professional. Oh, fuck, I gotta find it again. What the fuck? Hold on, this is pissing me off. Why can't I... There's no, like, bottom thing.
Click in the fucking...
Okay.
Click in your scroll thing and then... Oh, it doesn't do the fucking forward directional thing?
Not to the side.
That's annoying.
Alright,
well, then...
I guess I'm gonna have to read it like this. So,
Unprepared.
It looks a little weird.
And
it doesn't
racist.
usually do that. Don't look at my emails.
And racist.
This is definitely a pop punk record from 2003.
Yeah.
I can see how Panic and Fall Out Boy got mixed up a lot during this time because this reminded me a lot of Panic's record of Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Albeit is produced much better because Fever is... It kind of sounds like trash. But the songs are a little less interesting to me than Fever's because Fever had a lot of really good ideas with just poor production, in my opinion. But I said, but Jesus Christ, this vocal inflection. Patrick Stump's voice on this one is very stereotypical. Oh no, yeah. Like it sounds like, I don't know. Oh my god. Or, I can't fucking, I don't know. It's like the pop punk voice, the very stereotypical, whatever. Way more than usual, and it's very cringy to me. Especially knowing that he won't be singing like this, like, at all later on. Yeah, I was not a huge fan of that. But I will say that's the biggest con of the record. Most of everything else is just kind of slightly better than mediocre to me. Some songs stuck out to me, notably Calm Before the Storm I liked, Homesick at Space Camp, and Dead on Arrival. I would say these are decent tracks, but nothing that really changed my mind on the group as a whole. So yeah, this is alright, but I'm probably not going to revisit any songs here. My favorite ones here were Calm Before the Storm, Homesick at Space Camp, Dead on Arrival, Saturday, and Grenade Jumper. And my least favorite ones were Reinventing the Wheel. Some of these names I shortened, by the way, because Fall Out Boy has a very bad habit of very long song titles. So Reinventing the Wheel, Grand Theft Autumn, The Pros and Cons of Breathing. Those are my least favorite ones. And overall, I'd give it like a light 6.
Alright, yeah. My first note here was some classic pop punk right here. A lot better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Also a lot different than the albums I've heard and enjoyed through the years. Yeah, the screaming didn't work when it first came in. There's a little screaming. I forget what song it comes in on. But it's towards the end of the album, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of hit me by surprise because there was nothing like it beforehand.
Right.
And it does return throughout the album and then in a couple for the next couple.
The next few albums have just one song that just oh, they're screaming now.
It might have been Pete once.
Maybe.
He might have just been like, "Can I scream?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah."
Can I have more attention?
But the first one it didn't really work, but I think it got better in the next song it was in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, it's better than I thought it'd be. Patrick's vocals and the instrumentals sound clean. Patrick doesn't sound good, but it sounds clean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just some good pop punk. I didn't completely love it, and that first song has an obnoxiously long title like the first Panic album.
Mm-hmm.
But overall pretty good. My favorites were the first one, which I Take That Mick. He just made my list of things, and then I'm not gonna remember the rest of the
Maybe I
song.
should just pull up the fucking...
Yeah. It's obnoxious.
Yeah.
And then Dead on Arrival. See discography.
Sorry. My bad.
You're good. Tell that to Mick. He just made my list of things to do today. Dead on Arrival, Saturday, and sending postcards from a plane crash. Wish you were here. And then I didn't like the pros and cons of breathing.
Yeah.
I also gave it a light 6.
Cool.
But yeah, That's the first album.
Yeah.
Out of the way. And then we get to From the Cork Tree 2005.
From Under the Cork
From
Tree.
Under the Fuck me. From Under the Cork Tree, Cork Tree 2005. Yeah, this is when I started to realize how derivative early Panic was of Fall Out Boy. Because, yeah, it was kind of obvious here. Two of the biggest Fall Out Boy bangers back-to-back on this record with Dance Dance and Sugar We're Going Down. They were back-to-back. I wasn't expecting that. But, you know, it's kind of just thrown into a bunch of songs I had never heard of before. You know, it's a bit better than the first one, but not a whole lot different. Overall, I liked my time with this one a bit more than the first. There were some bangers, a couple of classics, and some forgettable stuff. They were starting to hit their stride. They just weren't quite there yet. My favorites were Sugar We're Going Down, Dance Dance, XO, and Sophomore Slump or Comeback of the Year. And my least favorites were Our Lawyer made us change the name of the song so we wouldn't be sued. We couldn't get sued. I just thought it was kind of a weak opener. And then I slept with someone. I slept with someone in Fall Out Boy, and all I got was this stupid song written about me. I mostly just hate the title.
Yeah.
But, you know, just not the best song on there. And I gave this one like a light 7. Light to decent 7.
Okay. Yeah, From Under the Cork Tree 2005. Welcome back to another episode of Fuck These Song Titles. Seriously, if you're listening to this and have no idea what we're talking about, just on Spotify or something, look up From Under the Cork Tree and just look at these song titles. Yeah. They are absurdly long, and I kind of hate them.
not even the first album had like it had a couple.
Yeah.
But this album, it's every single song,
and
other than 2 or 3.
Like the same shit happened on A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. I'm like, why is this a thing? Yeah. Immediately, I find these tracks to be doing much more interesting things structure-wise. The emo accent is also much less forced, which subsequently makes it way less cringy.
Neither of us can talk today.
Yeah. I think the first half of this record is really solid. The instrumentation has a lot more character than your average pop punk tracks that I have heard. And the vocals are consistently good as well, and it's a pretty fun ride. However, it gets a little one note in the middle of the track list. The only song I straight up didn't like was Champagne for whatever the fuck it's called. But there are still a few tracks on here that seem to lack a little bit of personality. I will say that I've Got a Dark Alley was a nice change of pace, and I wish we saw more of that throughout the record. I don't quite remember what it was, but I remember it was a little more down-tempo, which I thought was cool. It was one of my favorite moments here. Yeah, the classic tracks like Sugar and Dance Dance are pretty good as well. Overall, I definitely like this better than their first project, but there are still some issues that hold it back from being a great record for me. My favorite ones were I've Got a Dark Alley, Our Lawyer Made Us. I kind of like that one, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't remember a lot of these songs. I'll be completely honest with you.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Sugar We're Going Down, Dance Dance, Sophomore Slump, XO, and Get Busy. And my least favorites were Champagne 4, Nobody Puts Baby, I Slept With, and A Little Less. And overall, I gave it a strong 7. That was pretty good. Yeah.
All right, and then we go to 2007.
Yeah, 2007, Infinity on High. This one's a little weird for me. I feel like I really enjoyed some of the little moments sprinkled throughout these tracks, but as a whole, it's kind of meh. There's a real difference into the pop leaning in these tracks, and it kind of takes away from a lot of the energy from what I remember. This record feels like it doesn't quite know what it wants to be, and pretty much any time electronic drums or strings came in, it sounded kind of awkward. I felt like they weren't really mixed together very well, and it was, yeah. The same thing goes for the piano ballad track, where there were some cool chords going on in it, and I'm a fucking nerd, so I liked that. But overall, it was just kind of awkwardly placed into the record, and it didn't really... The piano, if I remember, it kind of didn't do anything. It was just Patrick singing on a piano for the most part. This is the kind of pop-punk sound that just really blends together for me, and it just makes everything really samey and forgettable. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, but it's not bad per se. It just kind of exists to my ears. My favorite track on here was Thanks for the Memories. I also liked I've Got All This. ... Fame is greater than infinity. Less than. Fame is less than infinity. The Takeover and Bang the Doldrums. And my least favorites were The Afterlife of the Party, This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race, which I know that's a big song from them. I did not like it, though. And then It's Hard To. I wasn't a huge fan of either. Overall, I gave it a decent 6.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fair. So I think this is everyone's favorite Fall Out Boy record.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is their, like... I'm pretty sure this is the one that everyone likes a lot. But yeah, I said, yes, everyone's favorite Fall Out Boy record. And then I said, I kind of get it. They were really starting to hit their stride here, I think. It took them a couple albums, but I think this is where, like, this is where they kind of started to sound like the band that they would become.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, overall, I said, I see why people love this one. It's banger on banger for the most part, and I really enjoyed my time with it. It wasn't perfect, but I did like it more than the last couple of records. I don't know. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff I liked about it. I think that, like I said, I don't remember. I didn't say this, but I don't remember most of it. But I do remember liking it. My favorites were Thanks for the Memories. I'm Like a Lawyer. I've got all this. I've got all these titles, man. I've got all this ringing in my ears.
You've got a combination of the titles and your handwriting.
Yeah, it's just a fucking mess. I've got all this ringing in my ears and none of my fingers, none on my fingers. Weird fucking name. And then I liked This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race. So fuck you. And then my least favorite was Golden. I just kind of thought it was kind of... Because, like, leading up to Thanks for the Memories, there were some bangers. And then Golden just kind of...
Was Golden the piano track?
I think so. Yeah. It just kind of dropped off. And I was like, this is weird before going into the bang, like, their biggest banger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gave it, like, a light 8. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about This Ain't a Scene. I knew that was one of their bigger songs. I just kind of found it annoying a little bit. It just wasn't really my thing. Yeah. Then we go into 2008 with Fully Ado.
Before we do that, the album cover, I must have been looking at it weird, but I thought that I made a little note in my head that it kind of looks like one of those pictures that it kind of looks like you recognize something in it, but then you that it's like...
Oh, yeah, like one of those AI generated pictures. It does a little bit, yeah.
It's really weird. It's like a sheep with wings in, like, a bedroom with the night sky in it, and it's really fucking weird. Folie à Deux.
Folie à Deux.
2008.
Your turn.
All right. I listened to this without my notebook, so I didn't take a whole lot of notes. But I like the transitions, solid consistency through the tracks, and a few bangers. Overall, I like this album, but not as much as the last couple. Patrick kind of took the Yuri road of showing off his vocals a couple times during this album. I don't know. It's nothing spectacular, but it's not bad at all. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's just kind of there. I think they with albums coming out 1 year and then having a whole another album coming out the next, it's like you're gonna have some...
Oh yeah, I didn't realize there was just a year difference between those last two.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to have consistently good stuff unless you're King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, because somehow they are able to knock out bangers every time.
Just Australian gods.
I guess
there.
so.
Yeah. It's the Australian air.
But my favorites were $20 Nosebleed, America's Sweethearts, and Coffees for Closers. And my least favorite was Whams. I don't know what that stands for. And West Coast Smokers. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a weak closer. And then I gave it like a decent 6.
Okay. So we are like completely flip-flopped
on really?
these. Yeah, like almost to a T. Folie à Deux. First off, I want to talk about the switch-ups on this record. Most of these tracks have like a completely left-field transition in like their bridges or near the end of the song. And honestly, I thought all of them were fantastic. I thought they were all really interesting. And each one of them does one of two things. They make an interesting song that much more interesting. Or two, they take a rather meh song and give its existence more worth. However, in that latter scenario, sometimes I'd almost rather they took the direction of the switch up for the whole song instead of what they actually did. In other words, I almost feel like the pop punk is holding them back since they feel the need to bookend these interesting moments just with the typical Fall Out Boy sound, when I think it would just be cooler for them to like just really delve into that, just have a straight up switch up. All this said, this is my favorite project yet. There's a couple songs that I found a little bit mid, but as I mentioned before, they all had something that made them really interesting and made me not mind them as much. And I thought there was a lot of genuine bangers on here, and like every member felt like they were giving interesting performances on bass, guitar, drums, whatever was in the track. And I thought there was a lot of chemistry between the instrumentalists themselves that I was noticing. And also bonus points for the fact that this is the first record they made that like really felt like it flowed together. I think there was like one moment on their first album that was kind of cool that really flowed together, but this one, like almost every track has like a fade into the next one, and it's pretty cool. My favorite one was $20 Nosebleed. I liked West Coast Smoker. I Don't Care. I Don't Care was probably my favorite of their big songs that I heard on these albums. I think so. I'd heard it before, at least.
I don't know if I had.
Really? Yeah. I do like I Don't Care, though. That's a pretty great song. Disloyal Order and American Sweethearts. My least favorites were She's My Winona, What a Catch Donnie. I kind of liked what they did at the ending with the whole mashup of the previous tracks. I just didn't really like the song that came before it. Yeah. And Wham's. I remember Wham's was my specific track that I was thinking, like, I'm not really liking this song, but then the switch up, I was like, that is really interesting, and I wish they took that for the whole song. But, yeah, overall, though, I didn't really hate anything on here, so I would give it a light 8. I really enjoyed it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I made the mistake of leaving 4 albums for myself yesterday. So this one was at the beginning of my little listen through it. I don't remember it as well, but you know,
it's still completely fair.
I still like it.
Yeah.
I think I like the pop punk sound, and
definitely, yeah.
That's just my thing. But I don't know.
Fall Out Boy is kind of getting into territory where we have a little bit different perceptions on stuff,
so
it can make complete sense. Yeah,
I like the album. It's just I think I liked Infinity on High a little better.
Okay,
that's okay.
Cool.
And then we take a 5-year break.
Yeah, there was a hiatus or something that went on. Do you know what happened?
I have
if
no
they just
idea.
took a break, or
I'm gonna look it up. You can go ahead and start.
Okay. Yeah, so there was a break between these albums. From 2008 to 2013, we get back with the album Save Rock and Roll. And my opening statement here is, in an effort to save rock and roll, Fall Out Boy made a bold statement by releasing their poppiest record yet. This is practically a pop record, to be honest with you. Now, I've got nothing against pop music. I think there are specific spots on this record where Fall Out Boy managed to hit a nice sweet spot with pop and rock. However, it is kind of a rare occurrence. In complete honesty, I only actually liked one song here, which was Phoenix. I thought Phoenix was kind of a banger. Really great way to open it up. Yeah, there was a couple other decent tracks, but this was mostly a mess to me. The production is noticeably like subdued and like compressed to an artificial level. It doesn't even sound like a band anymore. And everything is so like surface level, and it wasn't like kind of the intricacies that I was noticing on Folie à Deux. I haven't really mentioned much about the lyrics or vocals in these reviews yet because I haven't really noticed them, to be honest. Here they were noticeable, and not in a good way. I get that branching out from your usual style is not at all a bad thing, but Fall Out Boy writing a pop song about partying, having a Big Sean rap feature, camp song acoustic guitars on Young Volcanoes, all of it together is so awkward with their style, and it just doesn't work at all for me. The features are all also very awkward on here. The Elton John one isn't bad, but he really sounds completely out of place with Patrick's vocals. Like, I don't know. They were a little weird. And Fox's were decent, I guess. That was the only feature I was like, okay, whatever. I am fearful of these next 2 albums since they have even worse ratings online than this one, is what I said. I will say, okay, and also I just want to say, this was when I first checked the ratings of the other albums. I wasn't trying to base my opinions on them. I'm like, oh no, where are we going from here? I will say that the production is decent on most of these songs, so it is definitely listenable, and that's why my score isn't lower than it is. And side note, I had my songs Know What You Did in the Dark as my favorite Fall Out Boy song in our Every Artist Ever video, which I think, no, that was 2 episodes ago. And fuck do I regret saying that. It's not the worst thing here, but I must not have listened to that song in a good second because it was produced so weird. Like, the mixing is so strange, and it was a lot less punchy and impactful than I remember. My favorite ones here were Phoenix, Save Rock and Roll, and Death Valley, but those last 2 I was like, these ones are all right. And my least favorite ones are Where Did the Party Go, Young Volcanoes, The Mighty Fall, and Alone Together. I did not like. And overall, I'd give it a decent 4. I was not feeling this one at all.
So hiatus.
Yeah.
Patrick was starting to loathe the image as an emo band.
I can definitely tell that with this album. Yeah.
Andy Hurley, the drummer, went through the darkest depression episode he'd ever had.
Oh shit.
Pete Wentz had been abusing Xanax and Klonopin and was divorced by Ashley Simpson, his wife, and returned to therapy. And they all went to do their own like individual music stuff, and they were all met with varying degrees of failure. Patrick was the only member of the quartet to take on a solo project while Fall Out Boy was on hiatus, recording his debut solo album Soul Punk. I've heard of that. I don't think it did well. Pete Wentz started an electronic duo, Black Cards, apparently. So that's why they were on.
Okay.
Hiatus, I guess.
Well, it sounds like they had good reasons. A lot of them were having some life issues. Yeah.
Yes. That's the hiatus.
Yeah.
This is like I said at the beginning. This is one of the albums I had listened to and loved in high school, and you got me a little worried with the fact that you were like, "Hey man, this went downhill way faster than I thought it would."
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh," because I didn't remember this album all that well. But I'm happy to say that a nostalgia and also a mix of I still kind of like the sound of it.
Okay.
Kicked in, and I still enjoy this album quite a bit.
Okay.
Nostalgia is such a nice thing. I said, I said it's definitely more accessible than they have been, and then I said Big Sean, more like Big Yawn. Ha. And I said I'm having fun.
Yeah, you were definitely in a better mood than I was.
Overall, I still have fun with this album. It's definitely more accessible than they have been in the last few albums, but it's not bad. I may have nostalgia goggles on, but for this one, but I think even without them, that I would still enjoy it. My favorites were Alone Together. My songs Know What You Did in the Dark, Missing You, and The Phoenix. And my least favorites were Rat-a-Tat, Death Valley, and The Mighty Fall. Rat-a-Tat fucking sucks, and fuck Courtney Love.
Yeah, she didn't sound good on that one. The only reason I didn't have it in my worst tracks is because I thought the song itself sounded fine. Like, I thought it was kind of an interesting rhythm or something. I don't remember.
I don't know. I used to think that Save Rock and Roll was my favorite Fall Out Boy song. I liked it a lot, but re-listening to it, I definitely see where you're coming from with the Elton John feeling out of place on it.
Yeah,
it's a little weird.
I think what it is Patrick Stump has like the Fall Out Boy effects on his voice, which is completely fine. That's their sound. But Elton John just is. I think his vocals just like really plain.
Yeah.
So like it's just they don't sound like they're in the same place.
I also think it's funny that they got Elton John, who has never made rock music, on a song and album, the title track for an album called Save Rock and Roll. Yeah. Which is kind of funny.
I think the album title Save Rock and Roll is kind of funny in and of itself for this album.
It is. It's definitely poppy.
Yeah.
And I used to like Young Volcanoes for some reason. I don't as much anymore. I think it's a nice little it's a nice little acoustic bit, but yeah, it's definitely not great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gave it like a 7. I still enjoy this album a lot.
Yeah.
So
that's okay. Yeah.
And then we get into American Beauty, American Psycho from 2015.
2015, year of Blurryface.
Yes. I said the nostalgia goggles are still there, but they aren't prescription this time.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't hate these songs. They're just most are just soulless. Like I don't feel like they felt anything when they were writing these or creating them.
Mm-hmm.
I said these are commercial or movie credit songs. Commercial or movie credit songs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them just feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said overall, yeah, this one isn't great. I used to love this record, but now it just feels artificial for the most part. I said before, a lot of the songs feel like they're trying to be in movies or commercials. In fact, Immortals was in Big Hero 6.
Was Immortals on the album?
Yep.
Oh shit.
Immortals. Yeah, it was in that Disney movie Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6, good movie. And I think it was in like a pretty big part of the movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I still like that song.
For some reason, I don't remember that happening. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not their best. My favorites were Immortals, Twin Skeletons, The Kids Aren't Alright, and Centuries. My least favorite were 4th of July and American Beauty, American Psycho. I appreciate that it was doing something a little different with American Beauty, American Psycho, but it kind of came off as annoying.
Yeah.
So I gave it like a light 5.
Okay. Yeah, American Beauty, American Psycho. I said, in my opinion, this is a better attempt at Fall Out Boy making pop music. I still wouldn't call it great, not even close to it, but for me, at least the songs are just pretty much mediocre without anything super cringy, which I thought there was kind of a lot of cringe going on the last album. If I heard any of these songs playing in the background, which I have for many of these, on their Spotify, this is still their most popular album.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really mind it. It's not quite my style, but it at least feels a little bit more fun than their last record, at least to me. So that's nice. One thing I noticed when listening to this record is I'm starting to get a little tired of Patrick's vocal delivery. It's never really blown me away, but I feel like I've heard him sing the exact same way for 5 records now, with only brief hints of something else. I don't know. I know he's a good singer and performer because like he's got a great voice on him. I just can't help but feel like it's being smothered by their sameness. Mm-hmm. And I'll also say that I was surprised by Twin Skeletons. I haven't heard like anything about this song before, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was my favorite closer of theirs, like by far. Yeah, this record was I gave it my favorite songs were Twin Skeletons, Jetpack Blues. I thought was all right too. Centuries was one of their better songs. I wasn't expecting to like that one, but I kind of liked it. And Uma Thurman, I kind of have nostalgia for that one.
Yeah,
that was a big one. My least favorite ones were The Kids Aren't Alright, American Beauty, American Psycho, favorite record, and 4th of July. And overall, I gave it a strong 5. And I felt the same way about American Beauty, American Psycho. Like, it definitely was trying to do different stuff, but it just something was off about it. Yeah.
It's just like it's trying to be this like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where it's like it's just like trying to be like weird and monstrous with the psycho part and just like fun and pretty with the beauty side, and it's like this doesn't work. Maybe if they had done it back in the day, but like with this album it's just like did not work and it came off as annoying. I think there's a line in there that it's like nothing more, nothing less. They just they use us for pity sex, and then it's like, okay, buddy.
I kind of stopped listening. I mean, I never really was listening to the lyrics, but like they were getting a little weird starting around Save Rock and Roll.
I don't know, man. I used to like this record a lot. But Twin Skeletons, it feels like it should have been like an older song of theirs. Like I feel like a lot of these tracks like Jetpack Blues and Centuries and like
other stuff. Like I've heard of these tracks before. I've heard people talk about them before, but for some reason I've never heard of Twin Skeletons, and I was like, I actually really enjoyed that track.
Yeah, it's a really good track.
Yeah,
I don't understand why nobody talks about it.
Yeah,
but here we go.
All right, the final album for the evening. Hopefully not for their career.
Yeah, we'll see. It's been a few.
Yeah, Mania from 2018, the year of Trench.
The year of Damn. No.
2017 for Damn.
Damn. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Mania, 2018, year of Trench.
They went with purple instead of yellow.
Yeah. My first comment is oof. I'll start positive. I think it is good that they experimented with their sound. As I was hinting at in my last review and some of my other ones as well, their shtick was getting a little bit old for me. Honestly, the electronic production on these tracks is kind of the best it has been. Like not how they used it, but the production itself. It has a much more even mix with everything else, and there's points where the electronics actually sounded good with their rock sound. And yeah. Also, they played a lot with rhythm on this record, which I thought was actually really interesting and really cool. There was like some really loose melodies in there, a lot of like doing triples over duples, and like changing time signatures at one point too. Do I think they did it well? No, but the attempt is admirable, and it is good to see them messing around with those things. Okay, I've stretched my positives as far as they can go. I thought the first two tracks were just kind of decent, and then we fall into a very low pit that rarely catches any glimpses of lights. This record is overblown, chalked to the brim with cringy lyrics that I could not stand. They sound so awkward, and some of the worst sets of verses and choruses the band have released yet. It tries to hide its flaws behind thick walls of sound, but it just makes them so much worse in my opinion. Pretty much everything I dislike about Fall Out Boy shows up on this project and is kind of accentuated to the brim, and then some. Some of their worst production choices go on here, and it makes a lot of these songs straight up hard to listen to, especially Young and Menace. I feel like I should be able to file an assault charge for my ears for that song. It is baffling how bad that track is. It is so close to a flat 0 from me. Yeah. Anyways, the rest of the record fails to capture me in any way either. I genuinely dislike this record, dislike listening to this record, and even though I'm not a fan of the band, I really hope they can make a better one than this afterwards. The best here is kind of in quotes, but I kind of like the last of the real ones. I thought it had the most energy on the album. I do actually genuinely like the first 45 seconds of Young and Menace. I think it's setting up a really cool electronic vibe. For the first 45 seconds. Heaven's Gate was alright, I guess, and Bishop's Knife Trick was fine. My least favorite, the rest of Young and Menace. I did not like Wilson Expensive Mistakes. Hold Me Tight or Don't. My ex really liked that song, and I do not remember that sounding that bad. Champion and Sunshine Riptide, and overall I gave it a decent 3.
I have a lot of the same notes here. My first note was at least they were trying to do something different. I don't hate the sound of a lot of these songs. They're just boring. I said Patrick has Brendan Urie syndrome again in Church, but I don't mind it as much in Heaven's Gate. Overall, I said I thought I would dislike this album a lot more than I do. But there is still plenty wrong with it. A lot of these songs feel so drawn out, and like they don't need to go as long as they do. Even though they're not long songs, they feel too long.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think it might be their shortest record too, but it felt
very
long.
Yeah, I appreciate they were trying some new stuff, but it just wasn't working. My favorites were Heaven's Gate, Champion, and Hold Me Tight or Don't. I don't know, I like those. My least favorites are Young and Menace, or Sunshine Riptide, and Last of the Real Ones. I, like you, liked the first 45 seconds of Young and Menace. The song started, and I was like, I forget why people don't like this one. And I was starting to write my overall stuff and my favorites and stuff, and I was like starting to put like a 4 in my rating. And then no, I think.
Sorry, that's hilarious.
I think I'm starting to put like a 4.5 or like maybe a light 5, and then it dropped, and I went, oh no! I think my face literally went. Yeah.
Raises the 0.5.
No, I took it down from a 4 to a 4.5 to a 3.5 just because of that.
That's hilarious. Yeah, the drop in that track really is that fucking
It's
awful.
so bad.
It is so.
It hurt. Yeah. It hurt me. It touched me in weird places, and I did like it. God, yeah, awful song. If you really feel like making the face I just made, listen to Young and Menace. Because, like, the first 45 seconds, I was like, oh. And then it went, Young and Menace. And I went, oh, no.
Yeah. The first 45 seconds goes up until he starts interpolating Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. Starting there, I'm like,
yeah, it hurt me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it like a 3.5, a decent 3.
Yeah. We're on the same page there.
Oh, yeah, awful.
Yeah, and one thing also about Young and Menace, because it deserves to be talked about a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I never noticed, like, now that I've been listening to music, like, a lot closer, I have heard the track before. I'm not sure if I've ever listened to the whole thing before, but they literally intentionally make the song louder at the chorus. Like, if you listen to the vocals, it just, like, literally just gets so much louder right when he says Young and Menace, and it makes it that much worse. like, they just shove it in your face, and it sounds so bad.
Yeah, I just thought that was a really funny thing.
That is hilarious. Writing down your score, hearing the chorus of Young and Menace, and erasing.
It's like those fucking like bits in a comedy show where it's like days without an accident and then somebody gets hurt right away.
Yeah, it's literally that.
Oh man, what a fucking awful song, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's their discography.
Yeah, at least the album isn't. The album could have been much worse if Young and Menace was the direction they took for the whole thing.
Yeah. I feel like if
way.
that song wasn't there, I think it would have been an okay record.
Maybe. Because that was also the lead single, so I don't think anyone had a good taste going into it.
Was it Young and Menace, or was it Last of the Real Ones? I think Last of the Real Ones was the lead single.
Was it? I honestly don't remember. I remember hearing about Young and Menace when it came out, though. Like,
oh, yeah.
I knew when that track came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. Do you have any closing thoughts for us?
I do. I said Fall Out Boy is such a weird case. They've made some of the most recognizable bangers ever, but most of their discography is just pretty okay to pretty good. They have some of the same issues that bands like Imagine Dragons or AJR have, where they're obviously talented and they have a lot of potential, but they just keep doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. Because, you know, they're talented and they've made good music in the past. But, like, with these last 3 albums, it's like, go back to your roots, my man.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's not going well for them. But, you know, I hope if they release another album, when they release another album, that it's slightly better. Or a lot better. Because they need it.
Mm.
But, yeah. You can do your closing thoughts.
Yeah,
and we can say our rankings of the albums.
I think mine might be a little bit long. I don't remember. Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, they were not able to win me over. I get and understand the reasons people like the pre-hiatus version of this band, and I honestly get and understand why people like the poppier stuff that they do after the hiatus. I understand both of those sides, but I just find myself walking away feeling like I always do with Fall Out Boy, just meh. I think I alluded to it earlier, but they really are just good background music to me. Like, it's just fine to be there. Their songs tend to blend together for me, and I find myself craving a sound of theirs that isn't trying to stay in the heavy rock / pop punk that they do for basically all of their discography. Mania was absolutely a misfire, but I honestly see it kind of as a positive because they were actually trying new things. I think that is really good for them. And like I mentioned, not all of the electronics were awful on that record. I think they did fix some things that were not great in other records on Mania and made them sound better. Yeah. They were just starting to scratch at a new sound that they could potentially do well. It's just not the one that they went for. It's buried in there somewhere. They just really need to stop doing their awkward pop and rock balancing act while trying to force in some electronics at the same time, because it's just not it's not meshing like at all. They need to kind of do what early Panic did on their records and just commit to a new style, I think. Just commit to something instead of balancing. We've now had a break from Fall Out Boy albums almost as long as their hiatus right now, so I do hope that if they do come back with something, whatever they come back with is more up to par in quality with what they left off in 2008 rather than what they left us in 2018. And finally, shout out to Hand Crushed by Mallet remix featuring Fall Out Boy that 100 Gex made. It's honestly pretty fire.
All right.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing I've heard them on recently was the 100 Gex remix.
And then
yeah,
our rankings for the albums here.
Yeah.
My favorite was Infinity. And then it goes Infinity, From Under the Cork Tree, Save Rock and Roll, Folie Adieu, Take This to Your Grave, American Beauty, American Psycho, and then Mania.
Yeah, this may be the most different we are.
Yeah.
Hearing Folie Adieu under Save Rock and Roll made me sound a little
I don't know.
It's okay.
It's the nostalgia.
Don't look at
that,
bro. My ranking of them, Folie Adieu was my favorite. Then From Under the Cork Tree, Infinity on High, Take This to Your Grave, American Beauty / American Psycho, then Save Rock and Roll, and then Mania. Yeah. And overall, I gave Fall Out Boy a light 6.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, really?
I gave him like a decent 5 to a light 6.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're definitely... I think that really represents their sound to me, where it's mid, but it's on the decent side of mid. Yeah.
What did we give HAR?
I think like a 3 or 4 or something like that. I don't remember. Did I send that email to myself? I might be able to search it up.
Oh yeah, I think. Oh god, I gave him like a 4.5 to a 5.
I did not write that one down.
That's
or
all
at
right.
least I didn't email it. I probably gave him somewhere like that too, like 4 to 5.
Yeah, it's not a good sign when you're that.
Yeah.
And you've had, almost 20 years. But
yeah,
maybe you guys can maybe with the next album, man.
Yeah.
You'll...
I never want them to fail.
No.
But like, yeah, I do want them to do something that I do genuinely like.
Yeah.
But
I think they definitely need a breath of fresh air.
yeah.
But yeah, that was Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
It's time for Song of the Week.
Yeah.
And what are you going with, Mike?
It is me first. I think I'm gonna choose $20 Nosebleed because I liked that track beforehand and I still like it now. It's one of their songs that sounds a little bit different. And Brendan sounds pretty good on it. So yeah, $20 Nosebleed.
Give me a pen, call me Mr. Dream, but don't let the time.
Alrighty, $20 Nosebleed. Yeah, that's probably my favorite song of theirs. Probably because it sounds like Pretty Odd, Vices and Virtues, Panic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it came out in like the same time.
Yeah.
It's just a fun track. A lot of cool stuff happening in there.
It's a banger.
Yeah.
Both Patrick and Brandon sound good on it. So.
Yeah, it's probably the best feature on a Fall Out Boy song. I can say that confidently.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Man, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If I could go back in time and go to a concert, it would be the Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, 21 Pilots trio.
Absolutely.
Like, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, even though I'm not a huge Fall Out Boy fan, I would die to go to that concert.
Like, that is Vessel era, that is Too Weird to Live era.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's Save Rock and Roll era, but
yeah,
which you wouldn't enjoy. But
maybe at the time I would have. I don't know.
But like to have gone to a concert like that, oh my god.
Yeah, the only problem was we were like 13.
Yeah.
Which I guess isn't too young for that concert,
No.
but it's a little on that side.
It's a little younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what a dream that would have been.
That would have been so fun. Yeah.
But yeah, $20 Nosebleed is a great track.
Yeah.
That would have been great to hear live. I don't know if they do that one live at all, but like
If they didn't do that live during that tour, that would have been a missed opportunity.
It would have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's $20 Nosebleed.
Yeah. What do you got for us?
I think I'm gonna go with Twin Skeletons.
Oh,
Hotel in New
okay,
York
cool.
City.
I also like that one a lot.
There's a room in a hotel in New York City that shares our fate and deserves our pity.
All right, Twin Skeletons Hotel in New York City. Great fucking tune.
Yeah, like I said in my thing, that's my favorite closer of there. I mean, they're not really like an album band, but that one was nice as a closer for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, if they did a whole album in that type of sound, I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
But I don't think they ever will, which is
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, you noted that it kind of sounded like Vices and Virtues from Panic, and yeah, it definitely had like a Let's Kill Tonight flair to it at the end there. But I liked a whole. Yeah, I agree though. Like a whole Fall Out Boy album, like in kind of like that darker sound. Like they honestly do it pretty well.
Yeah. It would sound great. I like that sound a lot, and for that song to come at the end of that record is kind of impressive.
True. Honestly, that song did make me feel a little bit better about that record than I may have otherwise. Yeah. I think that's the reason it got a strong 5 instead of like a light 5. So, yeah.
This kid's almost doing blackface, I'm realizing.
It's close to it, yeah. It's like a quarter blackface.
yeah, almost there. Yeah, but that's a great track.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say I do actually kind of like their album covers for a lot of their stuff.
They do have good album covers.
Like Save Rock and Roll, I actually do like that album cover a lot.
Yeah. I like the From Under the Cork Tree one's pretty cool too.
The Mania one is weird, but I don't hate it.
I hate the way that the letters are spaced out.
Okay, yes, I do hate that. Yeah.
Their compilation album that they just released in 2019.
Yeah.
Has a really cool fucking album cover. It's this cool.
It's the Skeletons in New York City.
Yes. Twin Skeletons.
And that's not even on the fucking album.
No. Is there anything off of Mania on there? Last of the real ones. There it is. But they don't have anything from.
Young and Menace is not on there. What the fuck? Was that on one of it? Wait, Lil Peep. What the hell? Okay.
They must have done some fucking.
Yeah.
Weird. Did Lil Peep? Was he alive in 2019?
I don't think so. I feel like. Well, actually, I don't know.
I don't know when he died.
He's Swedish? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, he died in
2017,
2017. Huh. Very weird. Yeah, that was Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. We will be back next month with another. Well, sorry, not next month. I mean,
yeah,
it may be. Yeah, the next 5 episodes with another artist analysis. See who we delve into next.
Yeah, we're slowly inching towards episode 100. That'll be crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Only got 40 more to go.
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
if I could sit next to this guy for 40 more fucking episodes.
Yeah.
Episode 100 will be our last episode, by the way. Just saying it now.
Yeah.
Getting it out of the way. But yeah, if you're listening on streaming services, thank you guys very much. We really appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, smash the motherfucking like button. You know, Courtney Love was on these albums, and she is rumored to have killed Kurt Cobain, but she's really just taking my fucking credit.
Just completely out of left field.
Yeah.
Stealing his thunder. Yeah.
Yeah, we just did Fall Out Boy, so I thought,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening and watching. If you want to see more of us, more of Mike anyway, he has a YouTube channel. He has his own music on streaming services like Apple Music and Spotify. He has his album of the year page. He has his socials down there. I have an album of the year page as well, and an Instagram review page that I have not used in God knows how long, but you can go check it out if you want. There's a Twitter page where I, post that a new episode has come out. And did I miss anything?
Song of the Week playlist.
Song of the Week playlist.
Yeah.
There's a combined one with me and Mike's songs along with guests, and then there's individual ones from me and Mike. So you can listen to $20 Nosebleed or Twin Skeletons.
Gotta be careful talking like that nowadays.
Yeah, Mike had a little slip up there last week.
Dignity. Dignity.
Dignity.
Yeah.
Yes. The D comes first.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you guys for listening and watching. And remember, I killed Kurt Cobain. And I'll kill you. No, I won't.
My church is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's because Jesus Christ.
Stop!